Honestywithcomedy podcast called To a Dead End Road, part 7. I hope y'all are enjoying it though, as much as I've enjoyed posting these videos. Even though they broken up in 10-minute segments, forgive me, child. I gotta give me a camcorder or a recorder or something. But anyway, so when I got to my new place, and what's crazy is also the church that helped me, right? The one who baptized me, she has a sister. I'm telling you, it's crazy. She has a sister who has or attends a church that was literally in close proximity to the new apartment that I had moved to, right? It was only like maybe 20, 30 minutes or whatever from where I moved to my second place. So I ended up ultimately attending that church and met her for the first time. And it was like meeting a family, you know what I'm saying? Going to just see another family member. Honestly, we gelled easily. And I missed them. I do got to get back in touch with them. But still, okay. So, and before I had went to church, there's church for the first time. I prayed to God. I said, God, you gave me this notebook, and I'm still calm. I still don't know what it is that you really are calling me to do. What is all of this? If you're real, I'm just trying to confirm, like, what's this going on and stuff. What is it you want me to do? I'm so confused. Who am I? Who are you? So then I left. What's crazy is, unfortunately, on that CP time, yep, I started to drive there. And then I'm like, it's rude. I don't want to go there for the first time and then be like 30 minutes late and whatnot. So let me go ahead and do a UE real quick and go back to the crib. But then something said, no, just go. Just go. Okay. So I kept going. Well, I come to find out. So the minute I get there, I'm, mind you, 30, 40 minutes late. I think church sermon like a good hour, hour and a half, or whatever. It ain't one of them, chocolate surprise type of churches where it can linger on for a good 2.5 hours. It's right. Anyway, it's the light ones. And then, so when I got there, and I promise you, the minute I walked in that door, that pastor straight began to say, somebody in he said I was in my prayer closet, and I didn't even know what that was. He was in his prayer closet with the Lord, trying to figure out what to his sermon should be based on and stuff today, getting prepared and prep. And he had mentioned, the Lord had mentioned that if there's someone in here who wanted to know what it is that he's speaking of them, he wanted them to prepare. He just said the word prepare, and that the Lord is calling you to get to your stuff together, learn His word, and He'll reveal Himself to you, and pretty much there's things for you to do. I didn't want to go all into detail one night, but just pretty much things for you to do, and that you're questioning how to go about it, if he's really speaking to you, is he really leading you, and so forth. And it was like, yes, I mean everything that I pray for. 10 minutes before leaving in my house, he answered. I don't even know these people. He ain't no, psychic. He not. That I know of. I never sent no information. This is my first time. And I was late. You mean I'm 30 minutes late? The minute I walk in, you began to say that. And then when he said it, though, I felt like this boom in my chest area. Like almost lost my breath. It was like I just started shaking. And then the, sister, who I call now like an aunt and stuff, she looked like, oh, are you okay? And I said, I feel weird. That's all I can say is like, I don't know what it is. Like, I feel weird. it was this convicting confirmation, like, yup, all up in my face. And then he said, there is something about being an effective witness. I don't know what it was, but I had to write it down. I said, you got a pen. So I saw it, I write effective witness. I didn't know what it meant. It was mainly saying like it's just something unique about you that God placed, a unique perspective. You have a unique insight. You're not one-sided, you're not biased. You're the type of person that is so giving, and you do so much for people. And people, they don't really take into account or appreciate you. It's not reciprocated like that. You know what I'm saying? And he calls me to be a higher, like do something. And then he's saying, pretty much confirming also with the people, that people don't deliberately, a lot of people don't deliberately treat us harshly or bad, or that they don't love us. Sometimes they are created or stirred up somehow by his mighty works, you hear me, to treat us a certain way so we can kind of be set apart, so that we can learn to, separate ourselves. Like, hold on, I don't appreciate being talked to like that, or disregarded, brother, sister, type of situation. But it's like different. You felt like a black sheep, so to speak. You felt out of place. You felt different. You felt like you're supposed to be doing something, but you don't know why. You felt like you are a person that is just so giving and loving and nurturing and helpful to so many people, but you get burned out. You know what I'm saying? You get burned out, and you just don't understand. Like, why is it people don't understand me? You feel misunderstood, and I don't like to be misunderstood. So I try to clarify a lot of things and stuff, because I'm not a bad person. I'm a very blunt, direct, but loving, nurturing type of person first. You know what I'm saying? And the walk of your life, you realize that you go through these trials and tribulations and hardships and sufferings and so forth. And you just think that God, I always said, damn, I must be Lucifer's sister. What's up? But you get through them. And you don't even know how. Like, well, damn. That's what I said. It's crazy you get through things when your own therapist like, damn, how you still even here? I don't know. By the grace of the Lord. And I'm like, I feel like he's like taking everything and breaking everything down and removing this and that and this is that. Like, I feel punished. Why? What did I do? In another life, I wasn't even there. Who was this there? That's what I felt inside. Yeah, I had questions and concerns. But that's what it was like explaining. Like, it's not you. I had to create this. I had to create a disruption so I can set you apart, so I can pull you away from what you're comfortable with, because you would, and which is true. We like flies on shit sometimes with our families and things that it's not putting you in a position where you can hear God. You can feel him or pay attention to the signs and where he's showing and telling you and stuff. So, yeah, sometimes he got to be a little aggressive. Sometimes, like, snatch. But it's love. It really is. So, giving that, and then that made me even learn, damn, I need to learn how to forgive people. You mean they do loved it than me? Because I loved it than them. Some of them, no. Some of them really is just about that life. You feel me? But that's what it was confirming to me. And I just felt this peace, like he was saying, like, yes, my beloved. You know how he sound. Yes, my dear. It is I, the Lord God. And then what happened next was insane.